everyone, and welcome to tonight's online meditation workshop session. My name is Heather Evans, and I am with Journeys on the Mat. I'm so excited that you were able to join us tonight for week 2 of our 5-week online meditation workshop. Now, last week we covered a lot. We're going to go over that in just a moment, and then we're going to get into tonight's topics, mudras and mantras, and how, when used alongside and in conjunction with your meditation practice, it can enhance the intention, enhance the impact of your meditation practice. But before we get started, I just want to take a moment, now that we've had a week to practice our meditation, let's just center ourselves here before we get started tonight. So I encourage you to find a comfortable seat, and that could be, tonight I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor. You can be seated in a chair, you can be lying down. So get into a position that is really comfortable for you in this moment. Listen to your body. What does it need? Does it need to sit up? Does it need to lie down? So once you're in that comfortable position for yourself, just taking a moment to get centered and just notice what your body is doing in this moment. Now, if you're seated, I encourage you to lengthen your spine, feeling that length from the root of your pelvis all the way through the height of the crown of your head. Feeling your shoulders drip away from your ears. And if you're lying on the floor, I just encourage you to adjust a little bit so that you feel your spine lengthen along the floor. And once you're there, just allowing your hands to come into a comfortable position, palms up or palms facing down. And if you would like, or if you're feeling so inclined tonight, you can either begin to close your eyes, or you can look down in front of you gently with a very soft gaze. If you're lying down, you can either look up at the ceiling, a point on the ceiling with a soft gaze, or you can close your eyes. So again, choosing what's best for you tonight. Tonight for me, I'm gonna go ahead and close my eyes. I'm still with you though, so I haven't gone anywhere. And just taking a moment to feel into your body, doing a little mini meditation to start off tonight's session. Just allowing your belly to expand and contract with each deep breath you take through your nose. Inhaling deeply and exhaling deeply. Allowing your belly to become soft and round. Feeling the tension beginning to drip out of your muscles while still maintaining that length in your spine. And just settling in for tonight's practice. Thanking yourself for being here tonight, and thanking yourself for being fully present during this session. Take 2 more deep inhales and exhales. And when you're ready, bringing your palms together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bowing your chin down slightly toward your chest. Again, we thank all those who have come before us to share this wisdom, all of our teachers, the earth for its wisdom. When you're ready, softly blink your eyes open and look up. Awesome. Thank you again for being here. So last week, I shared a little bit of my story with you about how I found yoga and the impact that meditation has had on my life. And tonight I just want to recap a little bit of what we talked about last week. When I was speaking about the impact, I also shared with you some of the myths that surround meditation. And some of those myths include everything from you have to sit cross-legged on the floor to meditate, you have to meditate for at least an hour, to you have to chant if you're going to meditate, to your mind can't even wander if you're going to venture into a meditation practice. And we talked about how all of those myths are actually not true. That's why they're myths, right? So you can meditate in any position that's comfortable for you, cross-legged on the floor, sitting in a chair, lying flat on the floor, totally up to you. No chanting is necessary. We are going to talk a little bit about mantras tonight, but chanting isn't necessary. Also, that you have to meditate for an hour, not necessary. Studies have shown that any amount of meditation can have a positive impact on your life. And so even if you get up in the morning and meditate for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, that in and of itself is a fantastic way to begin a consistent meditation practice. And last but not least, that your mind can't wander while you meditate. And really our meditation practice is all about how we cultivate our mind to, when it does become distracted by something, to refocus its energy and attention. So all of those things were myths that we talked about last week. In addition, we talked about the benefits of a consistent meditation practice. When we meditate consistently, whether that's for 1 minute, 2 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever works for you, whatever feels right in your body and your spirit, we find that there's increased focus. We're able to concentrate in a much more focused and intentional manner, whether it's in our relationships, on our work, or with other things that are going on in our lives. Other things that it does for us is it provides us with a sense of calm. And we talked about that awesome symbolicness of the mind being calm, the heart being calm, and the breath being calm, and how when that is all working together, and when the breath, mind, and heart are in a calm state, the body then can be in a calm state because we're allowing our nervous system to slow down. Last but not least, when our nervous system has slowed down and we're in the process of being in a much more calm state, we're able to manage our emotions in a much more positive way. So we're able to channel positive energy and translate that into the situations and relationships in our lives that demand some of our time and demand energy from us. And so if we're able to enter into those relationships and enter into those situations in a calm state, our emotional responses will be calm in return. So all of these benefits definitely inspired me when I began my meditation practice to really commit to it and attempt to cultivate a consistent meditation practice. I shared with you that I've been practicing yoga now for over 8 years. And when I say practicing yoga, I mean practicing the physical practice, the asana that happens on the mat. And my meditation practice, my consistent meditation practice, has actually been in a process of evolution over the past 2 years. So it takes time, but when you truly commit, it is amazing the impact it can have on your life, on your body, on your relationships, on your work, on every aspect of your life. So that's why I'm doing this online meditation workshop, is just to share a little bit of what I know, a little bit about what I've been playing with over the past 2 years, and to also share with you that it's all a journey. None of this will be figured out tomorrow. So it's really a matter of you experimenting and trying out meditation for yourself and seeing what works. So let's get started on tonight's topics, mantras and mudras, because we have quite a bit to cover. And I want to make sure that we have time for a meditation practice at the end. So I wanted to kick off tonight's discussion by talking about the power of mantra. And I'm sure that all of you are familiar that a mantra can be a phrase that you use on a daily basis or in a moment to cultivate an intention or to cultivate an energy in the body when you're going into a situation. So, we've seen a lot of mantras out there lately of, I love my body, or peace. It's a very simple mantra that you can use when you're meditating. And what a mantra can do when we're meditating is provide the mind yet another place to focus. So last week, we really explored during our meditation practice, focusing on the breath, and we looked at a 3-part breath. So breathing from the belly into the low ribs, into the upper chest, and then from the exhaling from the upper chest, low ribs, and then belly. So that's where our focus was last week. When we add a mantra, it can just be another device that we can come back to when our mind starts to wander. It can really help focus and set an intention for your meditation practice. So I often use mantra when I'm meditating, especially if I'm feeling a bit scattered or as though I've got a lot of internal noise happening in my mind. I can choose a mantra that will help motivate me, center me, ground me for that day and for that meditation practice. So a mantra can be as formal or as informal as you like. It is completely up to you. You can choose one word like peace and allow that to be your mantra. And you can also choose something much more complex. So another mantra that I use is Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha, which is a mantra for Ganesh, who is actually sitting here behind me on my mini altar that I set up when I'm meditating. And Ganesh, that mantra, Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha, is a mantra that can be said to cultivate a good start, a good beginning. So it's one that I really like to use when I get up in the morning and I do my meditation practice first thing. I'll come out, I'll get myself into the position that works best for me that day, and then I'll repeat that mantra. So again, as informal or as formal as you like, and it's completely up to you. It can be something that inspires you. It can be poetry. It can be a lyric from a song. It can be a word that speaks to you that day. And so I just wanted to share that with you because a mantra can really be anything you want it to be. And it should resonate here. It should resonate in your heart. And it should allow you to set a good intention for that meditation practice. If you are completely new to mantras and the whole idea seems a little scary or you're not sure where to start, we're going to practice tonight with a mantra that is So Hum. And So Hum, translated, means I am that. So, I am, hum, that. And the way that we use it in meditation is on the inhale, you think to yourself, so, hum. So if it's easier for you to think about it in terms of I am that, you can definitely use it like that, but utilizing the sound of so hum brings a different connotation and a different energy and a different intention to your meditation practice. And you'll find that the more you meditate and the more you use mantra, you'll find that different words and different phrases and the languages in which they're spoken will bring a different energy to your meditation practice. So hum, I am that, helps remind us in our meditation practice that we are interconnected. I am you, you are me, and we are all part of this whole. So I am no different from the earth, as is the earth is no different from me. I am that, and I am that. I am every person I see walking on the street. I am that river that's flowing by. And this mantra can be really powerful. One, in that it is a very centering mantra. It can really help you get grounded as you begin your mantra practice. Two, it's a very simple mantra to start with, so it's nothing complex. It's just something that's very easy to remember and utilize. And three, it sets an intention of connectedness. It can remind us that we are all one. And it's such a beautiful concept, this idea that we're all one. And when we utilize this concept in meditation, that energy that it generates is one of inclusion. And inclusion is one of the most beautiful things we have to offer one another. It means we're all part of something. something greater than ourselves. And so it's a good reminder on all levels. So I'm just going to take a moment and we're going to walk through a mantra of So Hum, utilizing our breath. So we'll get grounded, we'll utilize So Hum, and then we'll actually move on and I'll do another mini practice with you where you will actually select a word or a mantra that works for you, and it can be So Hum or it can be something else. So we'll do 2 mini practices back to back. So again, getting comfortable, deciding for yourself where you'd like to start your mini meditation. And I'm just going to remain seated cross-legged on the floor. I'm going to lengthen my spine, grounding down through the base of my pelvis and lifting up through the crown of my head, creating a straight line, one where I can feel the energy moving up and down my body. My shoulders aren't hunched up near my ears, they're actually dripping away. And if I was lying down on the floor, I'd make sure that I was lengthening my spine out along the floor. Once you feel you're in a comfortable position, I just encourage you to either close your eyes or look down at the floor with a very soft gaze. And just take a moment, just notice what your breath is doing in this moment. Again, going back to that principle last week of just allowing your belly to soften, allowing it to become completely full and round as you inhale and allowing it to gently collapse back toward your spine on your exhale. We're not muscling our breath here. Now bringing some intention to your breath and just allowing it to slow down. Maybe you even add a 4 count to your inhale and a 4 count to your exhale, or any count that works for you tonight. Settling in a little deeper and allowing your muscles to relax, allowing your breath to become even slower and softer. And if you begin to notice any tension or any muscle engagement, like tense muscle engagement, just back off of your breath a little bit. And once you've settled into a comfortable breath, I just encourage you on your inhale to think to yourself, So, and on your exhale, hum. So, hum. So, hum. Now continuing that mantra in your own mind as you inhale and exhale, allowing it to match the rhythm of your breath. Take 2 more deep breaths from wherever you are. And once you've finished your last breath, just bringing your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bringing your chin slightly down toward your chest and thanking yourself for taking a moment to ground and get centered with the mantra, So Hum. And blinking your eyes open gently, coming back together. So I'm not sure what energy you experienced, only you can identify that for yourself, but just seeing and playing with that mantra and seeing how that can change the energy of your meditation as you practice. So over this next week, I encourage you to explore it. And again, that was a very short meditation that we just did. So if you haven't meditated yet today, well done. Good job, you just did. But it can be that simple. It doesn't have to be complex. And I think the simplicity of meditation is what makes it so appealing. I mean, it's such a simple, pure practice, and the impact can be exponential. So I encourage you to keep at it, and definitely try out So Hum as a mantra, especially if you're new to mantras or if you've never explored So Hum before. So let's just take another moment. I said that we were going to do 2 mini practices back to back. And so we're going to go into another one. And what I'd like you to do this time is think of a word, a phrase, something simple that is resonating with you tonight. It can be one word. I mentioned peace before. It can be peace. It can be calm. It can be energy. It can be a color. You can say the word of a color. Again, it could be a lyric or a snippet of poetry. So something simple that you can utilize on an inhale and exhale. Some people will put together 2 words. They'll inhale peace and they'll exhale calm. So just take a moment to think about that. And again, as you're thinking about it, coming back into a comfortable seat, whatever works for you this evening. And again, grounding down through the pelvis, lengthening through the spine, lifting through the crown of your head, allowing those shoulders to drip away from your ears, and just allowing your hands to come into a comfortable position. And when you're ready, closing your eyes or looking down with a very soft gaze, or up at the ceiling with a soft gaze if you're lying down. And again, noticing your breath. And then when you're ready, just allowing your breath to soften, allowing that belly to become nice, round, and soft and full on the inhales and exhales. When you're ready in your mind, beginning your own mantra. So on your inhale and your exhale, practicing bringing your own intention to your meditation practice. And seeing how the energy you're cultivating is either the same or does it feel different from when you were utilizing So Hum. Take 2 more deep breath cycles utilizing your mantra. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing palms together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bringing your chin slightly down toward your chest. And just seeing how you feel here in this moment. Seeing how this mantra has impacted your energy. Seeing how this mantra is impacting how you're feeling. When you're ready, looking up and just allowing your hands to come back down into a comfortable position. So again, mantra, as easy or as formal as you like, utilizing it with your breath. So mantra is actually fantastic in that it combines the energy of your breath with an intention. And when we put this with meditation, it can dramatically impact the energy and the groundedness and the centering that we feel when we're doing our meditation practice. So play, experiment, have fun, enjoy, and let me know how it goes. So we have lots of feedback that you can give us, and we love to get the feedback. So I'd love to hear how you all are doing with these mantras and your meditation. And I wanted to share just a personal story. When I first started meditating, I knew nothing about mantras. I had no idea where to start. And So Hum was right where I started. I allowed that to be the anchor for my meditation practice. And I utilized So Hum for probably about 3 months. That was my soul mantra. It was the only one I knew, and it was the one that I felt comfortable with. And so don't feel like you have to change it up or you have to have something really complex at the beginning. It can be just as simple as So Hum. It really allowed me to ground into the practice. And again, I utilized So Hum for about 3 months, if not longer. And it's one that I come back to very, very often. So it's always in your tool belt for your meditation practice. Don't ever lose it. It's a fantastic one. And yeah, again, have fun and play. So for the second part of tonight's conversation, I wanted to talk to you all about mudras. And I just wanted to share with you that there are multiple types of mudras. And tonight we're really going to be focusing on hand mudras. So mudras that can be done with our hands and our fingers. But there are other types of mudras. There are, head mudras. There are postural mudras. There are perineal mudras that can be utilized. And all of these mudras are designed to channel energy when we're in the midst of practice. So mudras in and of themselves are a type of yoga practice. So some people refer to hand mudras as hand yoga. So if you want to practice yoga during the day and you're thinking to yourself, I don't have time to roll out my mat, or I'm not interested in doing a full asana practice, what can I do? Meditation and mudras are a great place to start. So mudras are incredibly powerful, and mudra means gesture or attitude. And so when we are demonstrating, I'll use that word, when we're demonstrating a particular mudra, it's setting an intention for the practice. And it's incredibly powerful because, as I mentioned, it's channeling energy, it's focusing energy, and it's creating different types of energy in our body when we put these into practice. So one of the most common mudras, and we're going to go through a few, but I just want to show you one. When we do a mudra like this, where we bring the tip of the pointer finger together with the tip of the thumb, this circle is creating a lock or a space where energy can circulate and come back into the body. When we release this mudra, it's allowing the energy to dissipate into our surroundings. So mudras are all about creating these locks or these circular paths of energy so that the energy can be redirected into the body in different ways. And there are many different types of mudras. We're only going to talk about 5 tonight, 5 that I find particularly useful in a meditation practice. But you can explore mudras in depth. There's so much fascinating information about the intention behind mudras, where they came from, what they mean, how you can use them. And so, this is just the itty bitty tip of the iceberg when it comes to this stuff. And it's all we can really get to in an online 5-week meditation course. But if something really strikes you or resonates with you, maybe you really enjoyed the breath work last week, or you're really digging the idea of the mantras or mudras, you can't wait to find out more. I encourage you to explore these things for yourself. Go deeper. All of these things are designed to enhance and intensify our practice. So let's get started talking about some of the different mudras you can use in your meditation practice. One mudra that we've already been using tonight is Anjali Mudra. So bringing our palms together in front of our heart center. This is also called prayer position. Oftentimes, if you're in a class, you'll hear an instructor say, bring your hands together in prayer position at your heart. This is actually a mudra. And it can be as soft or as intense as you like. And we're going to play a little bit with the energy that we feel and how we feel as we're doing these different mudras, because when we intensify or we back off, or we bring a different sense to each mudra, it can really impact how the mudra enhances the rest of our practice. So Anjali Mudra, palms together at your heart center. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to create some space between your palms. We're not pressing our palms together tightly. We're actually going to create some space, a slight gap in between the palms. When we do that, bringing your hands in front of your heart, just get a sense of what that feels like. Notice where there's space. Notice where your flesh is making contact with other flesh. Notice what parts of your hand are touching, what parts aren't. And just to note if this is uncomfortable for you, or if Anjali Mudra is new to you and you're not particularly feeling it, do this mudra to the best of your ability, or you can choose to do something else. Another mudra that we can do if something isn't feeling quite right, just placing hands or arms down by your side and just allowing them to rest there. So if Anjali Mudra is feeling a bit different, or you're not really liking the energy that you're getting, hands can come down to your side, doing these mudras to your own comfort level and to your own ability. So again, palms together at heart center, creating some space in between the palms. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to press your palms a little bit more closely together. And just now noticing where is their contact, maybe where is their space. How does that feel in your body? For those of you who might be a bit more empathic or a bit more tuned into your energy body, just feeling what the energy is when you're pressing your palms together and your fingers together. And now maybe finding that middle ground between the palms being apart and the palms being pressed together, but if we just soften that mudra just a little bit, how does that feel? What's the intention and the energy there? Remembering to breathe during all of this. This is a practice, so reconnecting with our breath. And just sensing what that feels like in the body. And now taking a moment just to play with that, palms apart, palms pressed together. And then finding that middle ground. What does that feel like? Anjali Mudra is the mudra that we typically use at the end of our meditation practice. So I was doing that with you tonight during our mini sessions where I was asking you to bring your palms together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. It typically is a gesture of thanks. It's a gesture of respect. So we use that as teachers and as students to recognize one another. Another way that you can utilize Anjali Mudra is by bringing it up to your third eye. So placing your thumbs right in the space of where your third eye would be. So if you want to bring energy and attention there to your third eye, you can always bring that mudra up into that space. If you want to focus the energy a bit more in your heart, bringing it down into your heart center. So that's our first mudra. Again, it's one that a lot of people are familiar with because it's utilized quite a bit in our yoga and meditation practices. These next two are ones that are especially useful during a meditation practice. And I'll share with you a little bit about why. The first mudra is, again, bringing that thumb tip to pointer fingertip. And again, doing what's comfortable. If this isn't comfortable and it's really hard for you to hold this position, especially if this is a new position for you, you can always just tuck that pointer finger underneath the thumb. For some people, it makes it a little easier to hold. If this, again, is just not feeling right or it's uncomfortable, we don't want to create strain. So if it's uncomfortable, you can always just open your palm up, okay? But again, when we close that gap between the pointer finger and the thumb, it's creating a different energy intention here. So this mudra is called Yana Mudra. And Yana Mudra is setting an intention for knowledge. And the way that we utilize it in meditation is we will connect the thumb tip and the fingertip. We'll allow the wrists to be soft. And then we'll flip the palms so that they're facing down, and then place the palms gently onto the knees or onto the thighs, wherever is most comfortable for you. So again, we bring thumb tip to pointer fingertip. We flip the palms so that they face down, and then we bring them gently down to rest on our thighs or more toward our knees, whatever is most comfortable for you. And again, this sets an intention for knowledge. It's a very grounding mudra when we're meditating. And so let's just take a moment with our palms down, resting gently on our thighs. Again, you can tuck that pointer finger under if you're feeling a lot of strain, just holding it there. Or you can open up the hands completely and just allow your palms to rest facing down. But just tuning into what that feels like. What does it feel like to have that energy circulating back into your body? Now taking a moment, just release that and just allow your palms to rest gently on your thighs. No connection, so the lock is released. And just settling in and seeing how that feels energetically. Breathing. Not forgetting our breath. When you're ready, making that pointer finger to thumb connection again, palms facing down, sensing what that feels like. And again, releasing that lock, palms facing down, and then seeing what that feels like in your body. Personally, you can release, you can shake out your hands if you need to, give them a nice little hand massage. That's always nice too. For me, I feel a huge difference between when my palms are open and when I'm making that Yana Mudra connection. And it's something that takes time to cultivate that awareness in your body. So if you were sitting there going, I don't feel a thing, I really don't feel any difference, just my fingers are together or they're apart, what is Heather talking about? Play with it and take more time with it. When we utilize these in meditation, it can mean a lot of different things for your meditation practice. And when you begin using different ones for your meditation, you'll begin to notice that the intention and energy as you're cultivating a consistent meditation practice will begin to change with the mudras and mantras that you utilize. So the third mantra that I'm going to share with you is Chin Mudra. And it might look a little familiar, so it's probably something that you've played with before. We bring pointer finger to thumb. So exact same hand position. Our wrist is nice and soft. Again, if this is feeling tense or it's generating some undue stress or pressure here, just simply allow that hand to open. But again, if we want to play with that energy lock, we're going to bring that pointer finger and thumb together. And this time we keep the palms facing up. So we keep the palms facing up, and then we just allow the hands to drop down onto our thighs or down more toward our knees. So whatever is most comfortable for you. And just seeing how that feels for you. Now, the Chin Mudra is all about consciousness. So it's about creating open spaces of energy so that we can be more receptive. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Knowledge, grounding, we're tapping into our own internal knowledge here with Yana Mudra. With Chin Mudra, we're opening ourselves up. We're opening up our consciousness to what can be. So it's a very welcoming mudra. It's one that for me is very inviting. And so again, we're going to play a little bit. So keeping that connection, palms facing up, feeling Chin Mudra there. And now releasing that lock, so releasing the pointer finger and thumb, and just allowing your palms to rest on your thighs facing up and open. And what does that feel like? Again, tuning into the subtleties of your breath and your energy takes practice, but trust me, once you start playing with it, it can be really, really exciting stuff. Again, point your finger to thumb, palms facing up, down on your thighs or down toward your knees. Feeling into that, breathing into that. And again, releasing that lock, allowing palms just to be open and seeing how that feels. And now just releasing everything and coming back. So again, Yana Mudra, down, and Chin Mudra, same position with the fingers. You can also play a little bit with which fingers are connected. So I get a very different sensation if my pointer finger and thumb are connected versus my middle finger and thumb are connected versus a ring finger and thumb connected. So you have lots of options and you have the ability to play with what's available to you and what feels comfortable to you. So I invite you to explore these 3 mudras as we go through our practice together and as you start cultivating your own personal meditation practice. I have 2 more that I want to share with you, and these are 2 that I used extensively when I first started meditating. I'll be honest, these were a little bit challenging for me, and I really had to commit myself to practicing with them before they started feeling comfortable. So, and for the longest time, I used the bound position. So I'm binding my pointer finger here. So start where it's comfortable for you. It might be open palm, might be here, might be here. So just play with it. But these next 2, again, are the ones that I started with when I began my meditation practice. So I'm working backwards a little bit, but I wanted to share these at the end so that if these ended up being more comfortable for you as well as you start your meditation practice, you can utilize them when we go into our practice tonight. So the next one I want to show you is just, you're going to simply rest your right hand into the palm of your left hand. And this is Bhairava Mudra. Bhairava Mudra. And this mudra is one that is more masculine in nature. It cultivates, they call it the fierce attitude. So it's more masculine energy. It's one that you can use if you're meditating and you're about to go into a meeting where you need to present and you need to be on target and you're going to be up in front of a group of people. You can just take a moment, right hand resting in left palm, dropping them down into your lap, sitting nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, and just closing your eyes. And just feeling into what that energy is. So again, this mudra, Bhairava, is fierce attitude. Fierce attitude. And I think a fierce attitude can be a really positive thing in certain situations. So this can be a really useful mudra in certain situations. So really just allowing your elbows to be soft. If you're noticing, just like we did with Yana and Chin Mudra, we created a lock with our fingers. Here we're creating the lock with our hands. So, you know, we've got a nice circular action, a connection of energy that's being generated when we do this mudra. And this mudra really circles through the heart if you think about it, right? All of that energy, all of that fire, all of that passion that's generated in your heart center, it's being recirculated back into your system. So again, just taking a moment, right hand resting in left palm, taking a moment just to breathe into this fierce attitude, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. I also notice subtle shifts, not just in my energy, but also in my breath, depending on the mudra that I'm using. And typically when I'm doing this mudra, I can feel a bit more fire in my breath. I can feel a bit more intensity happening in my body when I utilize this mudra. And again, it's all about practicing and noticing what's working for you and what's resonating with you in a mudra practice. So the last mudra that I want to show you, we've gotten through all 5. So the last mudra that I want to show you tonight is actually just flipping that. So left palm goes on top of right, allowing the elbows to soften. And this mudra brings about a much more feminine energy. So it's seen as the female counterpart to Bhairava mudra. So this one, with left hand resting in right palm, is Bhairavi mudra. Bhairavi mudra. And so just feeling into that. Breathing there. It's the female counterpart to our fierce attitude, masculine energy of right hand being on top of left. And we have the left on top of the right. Just breathing into that space. And again, these differences might be incredibly subtle for you right now. But over time, and if you use these mudras consistently in your yoga practice, or I'm sorry, in your meditation practice, well, meditation is yoga. When we use these consistently, those differences will become more apparent. That shift in energy and intention will definitely impact your meditation practice. All right. So just releasing that. Again, maybe giving your hands a little rotation, maybe just massaging gently into your hands. When we first began our hand mudras, it might be a little intense for the hands and lower parts of the arms and the wrists. So just giving your wrists and hands some love, really just loving on them and making sure that they're ready for our next practice. So just a quick recap. Tonight we talked about mantra, and we talked about the power of mantra. We did a mini practice with one of my favorite mantras. So, hum, I am that. So I am all of that that is around me. I am part of the whole. I am you, you are me. So one mantra that you can utilize. We also played a little bit with you exploring a mantra that you might want to use in your own practice. So you had the opportunity to do a mini meditation with your own mantra. Again, always using the breath to guide that mantra. Then we reviewed 5 different mudras. So Anjali mudra, palms together at your heart center or at your third eye. Yana mudra. Chin mudra. Bhairava mudra, right on top of left. And Bhairavi mudra, left on top of right. So all of these things that I'm sharing with you can be utilized to enhance your meditation practice. So again, it's all about playing and exploring and seeing what resonates with you and seeing what doesn't. And your intention and what speaks to you will change over time. For me, I shared with you the mantra that's really resonating with me in the mornings right now, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And the mudra that I'm using most often these days is Chin mudra. So really just allowing myself to open up to possibility and opening up my consciousness to what's available to me. So those are the things that I'm utilizing right now. And if you would have asked me 6 months ago, it probably was different. And if you ask me in 6 months what mantras and mudras I'm using, it'll probably be different then as well. So again, yours to explore, yours to play with. And at the end of the day, if some of this doesn't resonate, you can just leave it behind and just return to a breath meditation. Totally awesome, totally great. I encourage you just to have fun exploring. So to close out tonight, we are going to do a practice. And it'll be a longer practice tonight. And we'll close with a mantra. And we'll just take some time to put what we've learned tonight into practice, because that's the best way we learn, by putting it into practice. So I encourage you again, find a comfortable seat or laying down on the floor, doing what's best for you in this moment, what's best for your body, what's best for your energy. If you're sitting, grounding down through the base of your pelvis, lengthening through the spine, lifting through the crown of the head, and just allowing the shoulders to melt away from the ears. If you're lying down, allowing your spine to lengthen out along the floor. And when you're feeling good there, Gently closing your eyes or looking down at the ground or at the ceiling with a very soft gaze. Taking a moment to tune into your breath here. Just seeing where it is, not changing anything about it in this moment. Noticing if you're breathing into your upper chest or into your belly. Noticing if your breath is fast or slow, shallow or deep. And when you're ready to start bringing some intention to your breath, just allowing your belly to completely soften. Allowing it to expand big and round like a beach ball on your inhale. And allowing it to collapse softly back toward your spine on the exhale. On your next inhale, beginning your 3-part breath. So inhaling into your low belly, low ribs, upper chest. And then exhaling upper chest, low ribs, then belly. Inhaling low belly, low ribs, upper chest. Exhaling upper chest, low ribs, low belly. Continuing this 3-part breath for 3 more deep breath cycles. When you're ready, allowing your hands to fall into a mudra position that is speaking to you tonight. Playing with whatever feels right to you. If you go into one and you're kind of like, no, that's not it, you can always change it. Once you've settled your hands into position, working with a mantra, utilizing Soham, or choosing a word or words that work for you tonight. Connecting your mantra to your inhales and your exhales. Continuing to breathe deeply. Noticing if any tension has been created and just breathing in and sending your mantra into that space. Allowing it to soften. If your mind begins to wander, bringing it back to your mantra or back to your breath, utilizing the tools we have to enhance our meditation practice. Take 5 more deep breath cycles, inhaling and exhaling. Continuing to utilize your mantra. Noticing the energy in your body. Taking 1 more deep breath cycle. And at the end of your exhale, bringing your palms together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra if it's not already there. Bowing your chin softly down toward your chest. Taking a moment to thank yourself for being here tonight, for exploring this meditation practice that you're beginning to cultivate, for treating yourself to the benefits of a meditation practice. We'll close out tonight's meditation practice with a mantra. I'll share it with you and then I'll give you the meaning once I'm done sharing the mantra with you. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings have peace and happiness. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that peace and happiness for all. Gently opening your eyes, releasing your hands, and just seeing how you feel here in this moment. Seeing how your energy is, how your breath is. Seeing how your muscles are reacting. Do you have a different energy from when you first started tonight's session? Just noticing that. Not judging it, just seeing where you are. So thank you so much for joining me for that meditation practice and for the exploration of mantras and mudras. Again, great tools that can be utilized to enhance your meditation practice. So I want to share with you next week, next Tuesday, we are back again at 8 p.m. Central. I hope you can join us. Next week, we're going to actually be exploring the chakras and how sound and color can help us explore the chakras in our meditation practice. So if you're interested in that, I really hope you can join us. Again, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Journeys on the Mat, thanks for being here. Thank you for practicing. Be sure to share with me how your meditation practice is going. You can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram, and on our website, of course. So I hope to see you next week. Namaste. And thank you. Have a great night.